passion for helping startup companies be all that they can be. And today, she is the CEO of her very own strategic management consulting firm. Please join me in welcoming Alfonso Pagliery for the conversation. All right, Anna, looks like we're rolling. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. We have a strategic management consultant for the program today. And so, Anna, if you'd be so kind, could you tell us a little bit about your life as a kid, how you were growing up, your family life, and bring us to where you are today, because you're in a very
Absolutely
sort of exciting position.
Well, I'm the child of immigrants. My parents immigrated from Cuba into the United States, like many of us Cubans. And I grew up in the Northeast, in New Jersey specifically. Attended Rutgers, and after college moved down to Miami and have been living here since.
What got you in the position that you are now? So you're a strategic management consultant.
Right.
And
I deal with a variety of companies. I help startups get better at running their companies and their operations so that they can be more successful. The reason I got into this business is because through growing up as an HR professional and then getting into the executive team, going through a business MBA, I decided that it was the proper education and skill set to help help them with their culture in such a way that it would be beneficial to their bottom line. And what I mean by that is I get people talking, get people working better, performance improves generally by about 45%. And employees get along, they understand the plan, they follow the vision, and everyone is more productive.
So you have a passion for startups, is that correct?
I do. We have a great ecosystem of startups here in South Florida. A lot of people with great ideas looking for funding and looking to grow their business. And I feel that the work I do and the knowledge I have, if I share it with them, will make them much more successful. And I enjoy doing that.
Do you have a specific sector that you prefer to operate in? Is it like tech, manufacturing? What's the sector that, or are multi-talented? It doesn't matter.
Well, I help most companies. I have a range of clients. My smallest client has 4 employees, and my largest has about 900. I do work better with tech CEOs. I understand that business very well. I understand the SaaS business, and I understand what challenges they have with people and with helping teams work together. But I do a bit of healthcare as well, so there's a variety.
A lot of men in your space. Is that fair to say?
Yes, you can say that.
Do you believe being a woman gives you a special sort of advantage in the sense you're kind of nurturing these startups? Do you have maybe a different approach than sort of a hard-nosed, type of guy that wants to crack the whip? I mean, is there that type of dynamic at all?
So prior to opening my own consulting firm, I was the one female member of a 12-man executive team. So I learned to just, keep my own and be able to speak up. And hopefully, I serve as an example for other women who are trying to increase their path and become more, elevated professionals.
What would you say is the key to your success? Persistence, consistency, flexibility. What if you could give us an idea? What would you say that your predominant skill set is that made you successful?
I have a strong work ethic, I think. I persevere. I never take the easy path, and that, I don't know if that's good or bad, but I always take the most difficult path. I feel that you learn, and everything that you learn is productive.
Do you have a routine? Like, do you start the day? Is there a morning ritual that you go through? Is there something that you do that sort of grounds you and keeps you focused day after day?
Absolutely. I wake up in the morning and do some meditation, then head to the gym, then contact my clients, work for a while, spend time with my dog. I break up the day by just, looking around and getting some sunshine, maybe take a walk outside, and visit clients.
Can you give us an example of maybe your greatest triumph as a turnaround specialist? Was there a company that was just really in bad shape, and then you came in and people didn't believe it was going to happen, and then you just worked your magic and things turned out better? Do you have a story like that?
I have stories, and I can tell you that every company, every project I start is a surprise at the end. For example, I have a company that has 4 employees, and the nicest compliment was when the CEO said, I just interviewed someone who says we have the look and feel of a 50-employee company. That's pretty significant.
That's great.
I have a company that purchased another company, and I did a due diligence for them and ended up discovering well over $600,000 in risk that buyer saved by doing a due diligence from our company. So success stories like that just make me feel like I'm in the right path.
That's great. We're going to put your contact information in the details below, so if anybody wants to contact you, they can do that there. Do you have a pricing structures? What can someone expect as far as your services? Do you have a flat rate? Is it flexible? How do you end up pricing what you do?
Well, I can tell you that we're a boutique consulting firm, so we're very nimble and we really work with the client. I work primarily with CEOs, but I also work with investors. And depending on what they need is how it's priced. But generally, the cost has never been an issue.
Okay, that's great. All right, and 2 last things. Number one, there's a lot of negative press about private equity lately and capitalism with the presidential election coming in. There's all this creative imagery like private equity vampires and things of that nature. Do you have any thoughts about why there's such a hysterical discourse going on now at the present time?
Well, we're in changing times. I mean, obviously, just take a look at our government and you can see that there's definitely a change. And because of it, I think there's a general distrust about certain sectors and certain practices. But I think there's good and bad in everything. And private equity is no exception. I think that some really good companies have come out of private equity, and I think there's value in that. If there were no lenders or no financiers, there'd be, maybe no Googles in the world. So I think you have to take it with a grain of salt and just have a little bit of pragmatism and understand that, a lot of it is motivated by perception.
Yes, I agree 100%. Okay, then lastly, there's this famous French talk show host, and he used to ask 10 questions to all of his guests. So, Anna, would you be interested in answering the 10 questions of Bernard Pivot for us? Whatever comes to you.
I'll try.
Try? Okay. Anna, what is your favorite word?
Opportunity.
Opportunity. That's great. What is your least favorite word?
Mistake.
Mistake. Interesting. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Nature.
Fantastic. What turns you off?
Negativity, probably.
What, number 5 is, what is your favorite curse word?
I can't tell you. No.
You can't tell me?
I generally don't curse, so.
Okay. Good enough answer for me. What sound or noise do you love?
Music, especially classical.
Classical music? Who's your favorite composer?
Beethoven.
Ah, me too. I'm a big fan of Beethoven.
Awesome.
So dramatic. What sound or noise do you hate?
Probably traffic, and maybe because I'm in a lot of traffic in Miami.
I hear you. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I think if I had an opportunity, I would be perhaps a doctor.
What kind of doctor?
Not sure, but definitely not someone who works with, definitely someone who works perhaps with children.
Okay, great. What profession would you not like to do?
A lawyer.
Okay, Anna. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You did a great job with all the challenges I sent your way.
Fantastic. Well, that's our 10 questions, Anna. It was a pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you.
And
Likewise. Thank you for having me.
it was great. And maybe we can do this again sometime.
Absolutely, Liam. Anytime.
Okay, great. Thank you much. Talk to you.
Thank you.
Talk to you.
Bye.